Hey guys, Zero here again. I got something cool I borrowed from a buddy of mine, my buddy Luke. Thank you very much, brother. Hope to get this back to you in one piece. No guarantees, but I'm going to do my best to get it back to you in one piece. But anyway, buddy Luke let me borrow one of his RCs. And I am super stoked to give it a shot. It's got a real simple radio, real basic 3-channel radio, I think, or 4, might be 3. We'll find out. It's from Tactic, and servos from Tactic too. But we'll do a real quick. Fucker's heavy. I've been really curious about this part of RCing, but I didn't invest in it because it's a really expensive investment, and there are cheaper versions out there now. Like, there's companies that make nice introductory versions, and I'm really debating on it, but this one here is just phenomenal, and it has impressed me. So I'll give you a quick look, and then we'll take it over to the table and I'll do the whole spiel. But this is the Axial SCX 10 that my buddy Luke bought way back. And you can see it's grimy, it's dirty. He's beating it up. You know, I mean, not beating it up in the sense that he's wrecked it, but it is definitely used. This is a 1/10 scale. Yeah, I mean, it says 110, but it looks bigger. But whatever, it's 1/10 scale rock crawler. So we're gonna get the camera to the table, and then we're gonna take a good look at this, and then I'm gonna pop the hood, the top off, and we'll take a look at the insides. These things are very impressive. I'm a big fan of scaling, so you know, if I can put something on an RC car that gives it a sense of scale or realism, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? Or I'm gonna try to anyway. So we'll get to the table and take a look at this bad boy. And I'm going to do some other videos. I'm actually going to do some running videos of it because I've never used a crawler. At my local shop, Strictly RC, which is literally like a mile from my house, they have an indoor crawling stage. And it's really cool. It's dynamic. It's got a lot of cool stuff. I want to try that, but I want to learn how to drive this first before I get out there and do it. So we're going to get over to the table and check this out. All right, hang tight, guys. All right, guys. This thing is huge. I don't even have another car out to give you guys a sense of scale. This is a 1/18 scale body from my rally. I mean, it even makes regular 1/10 scale cars look small. And I have to stand up because I had to raise up the camera, and I don't have a remote yet, so I will soon. We're gonna pop this body off. He's got some nice little O-rings on here. Recently I picked up from my buddy Rob a Team Losi XXX dirt spec vintage buggy, and where the body pins are for the rear of the body, it's really difficult to get at them. And sometimes these body pins, they just, you know, they're just difficult. So I recommend either twist ties, you know, because those are easily available, or get yourself some O-rings, you know, like Luke got. And you can't go wrong, you know what I'm saying? It's easier to grab these guys this way than it is to, you know, fumble with a tiny little. First of all, he's got really tiny body pins on there. I'm going to actually change those out for bigger ones. Sorry, Luke. I can't handle them little ass body pins. But that's the body. It's a Jeep Cherokee, looks like. SCX J. Nice. J for Jeep. And it's a real simple body. You know, it's Lexan. You know, it's got an extra piece here for the, like, the grill. If you look, it's actually hard plastic, and it has light buckets. You know, because these things, again, they're scale, or they're close to scale, so they want, you know, you want to be able to put you know, you want to put lights and shit in there, and you know, it's a real simple body. I think it came like this. This is the body that came with the truck. It's pre-painted or screen printed or something. And there is the chassis. Okay, adjusted the camera a little bit, and I wanted to kind of plug it in so we don't lose any battery or anything like that. But I mean, this thing is huge, and I mean, I like where they put all the components. You know, this is a aluminum frame, you know, with obviously, you know, that polymer or plastic components, whatever those are. You know, it's all it's dirty. This thing's dropping mud everywhere. You've got your speed controller, your receivers probably in here. There's your motor. This is your gearbox here, your servo. You know, he put in he actually installed an aluminum bumper with a gradient here, and according to him, it's so that he can get as much dynamic slope. When you're crawling, you want to be able to get the car or the vehicle up over obstacles, and this is the best, probably one of the best ways to do that. It gives you a more approachable angle, and the same thing goes for the rear bumper. And I think this is actually the original plastic one that was on there. Yeah, it's the original one, but it's got a gradation here too, if you see, you know, just so that when the car goes up, you got that much elevation, you know, to crawl up specific areas, you know, like if it's a steep area. The linkage in here is just, oh my god, it's just so cool. They remind me of like little monster trucks, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you can do, there's the battery tray there, and obviously it's meant for like a lipo, which I would probably use only, not for speed, but only because this thing has got a lot of torque, not a lot of speed. I mean, I think you can walk faster than this thing, but the crawlers are designed to crawl, basically. They're not designed to open run. So, you know, it's, you don't need top speed. You need the ability to torque all these wheels over an obstacle and through obstacles, you know what I'm saying? So let's see something here. Look at that. That slope is huge. Alright, so we switch the camera around a little bit. And let's take a look here. He's got it hooked to Dean's, which is cool. Means my batteries will work. Let's flip this guy over. I know he said he installed metal wheel hubs because it came with plastic ones, and he just felt the metal ones would be better. So we're going to flip this bad boy over so you guys can take a look at the underneath. These supports they're just so cool looking. I mean, I know what they do. They help the suspension torsion enough to you know, to move the vehicle through its obstacles. You've got your drive shafts. These are plastic. Yeah, I think these are the original ones that come with it, but you can obviously change all that. These pumpkins are huge, and that's where the gearing is to move the wheels, obviously. These things are so intricate, you know, and there's a lot of debate on the crawling scene, or, you know, the crawling, that you know, where it started. I don't know when this became popular. I think it became popular maybe 5-6 years ago. I could be wrong. I'm most likely wrong, but I thought, like, I noticed it 5 or 6 years ago. I started noticing these guys hit the scene. But a lot of people say that Tamiya started the crawling scene with the Bruiser, the Mountaineer, the Hilux. You know, they started that whole scene. You know, they had the intricate drive shafts with the 3-gear speeds. You know, obviously they had the big Blackfoot monster truck tires, you know, and they didn't do this, you know, but that was the premise for these types of vehicles, you know, which, you know, you know, they weren't the first RC company, clearly, but they were one of the most innovative companies that, you know, pushed a lot of technology and boundaries, you know, to bring us things like 4-wheel drive, and, you know, like just the way they did things. Some of their cars were really cheap back in the day, some were really expensive, and you know why? Because of all the involvement, the intricacies. They started putting carbon fiber. I'm not going to say Tamiya did everything first. That's not true, because Associated, Losi, they were pushing boundaries true on the racing scene, where Tamiya was innovating on the basher scene, supposedly, and then Traxxas came in with their ready to runs. But these things, man, this is just definitely a very cool element of like innovation, and design and thought process. I like the shocks too. They're very squishy. I believe these are oil-filled shocks, but they're very scale looking. You know what I mean? They look really close to, obviously we don't have springs. Well, certain ones don't have them on the outside, but that's still really cool. Another cool thing about these trucks, which I don't know why, but I love this shit. These are called beadlock tires, and what that is or beadlock wheels, sorry. What that is there's a centerpiece and then two pieces on one piece on the back and one piece on the front, and they hold together with all these little screws, and that keeps the tire, one, pressurized pretty good, and two, it keeps it from ripping off. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could glue it still just like the old school, but this is actually a really solid system for keeping these tires on the truck. They're also really squishy tires, like really soft. There's foam in there, but there's really soft tires, and from what I understand, it's designed that way so that these things get as much grip on the surface they're crawling as possible. So if the tire has to compress to get up a surface, it's more advantageous for these things to have that, rather than really soft, hard, stiff, full tires. This is actually better for it. This is a really cool rig. I'm definitely liking it. I don't know if he bought this ready to run or if he built it himself. I don't know, but I would definitely like to build one. I would definitely like to get my hands inside these gearboxes and these pumpkins, to see the works of it. He said that there's a kit that allows you to lift these wheel hubs up so that the truck sits higher and the pumpkins aren't so low, because that's the one thing, like a lot of crawlers, that's not a lot of ground clearance. That's maybe 2 inches. Like Traxxas designed a new system where the wheel hubs here, they're lifted so that the pumpkin can sit higher and you could get more ground clearance, which I guess is a big deal for crawling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this outside. We're going to learn how to use it, and I mean that in the most direct way. I've never used a crawler before. I know what an RC car is and how to use it. I've never used one of these before, so I'm going to have to learn how to manipulate the car on a course, and whatever. I got some rocks back there, and then I'll take it over to the shop. I'll do a video there of me trying the crawling course. Hopefully I won't do any damage to the course or this car or kit, sorry. If I do, obviously I'll replace whatever, but I want to practice first before I get out there and rip it through the course. But yeah, stay tuned, man. I'm gonna put this thing through its paces because I got to get it back to Luke, and then, like I said, I got to get it back in one piece. So hopefully we'll get out there soon, weather permitting. We'll get out there soon, and I'll be able to do that for you guys. But I'm really excited. This is such a cool rig. I've been toying with these for a long time about getting one, man, and I'm probably a bad idea to borrow one because now I really want one. But I love the scale, man. I love scale scene. I love vehicles that have scale in them. You know what I mean? You can get drivers for these guys, light kits. You can get accessories for the roof racks. It's so cool, and I've seen some very cool crawlers. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely eyeballing this guy. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, subscribe, like, share. I'm I'm gonna have more videos up, some different RC stuff coming up, and obviously the same Warhammer content that I always try to put out, but we'll keep it going. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching, guys.